Hello, it's Ashley here, and it is the twine part of Paper and Twine, and welcome to a long-awaited Woollypod. Can't remember when the last one was. Go and get my virtual barista Barry to get you a drink. I've got a coffee here, just a black coffee, but Barry, my naughty barista, will get you whatever you desire. It is only the morning, so maybe a glass of wine is a bit of a stretch. Anyway, I need to put my glasses on because I can't see you. I've got a lot to get through, and I'll try and be as quick as I can. Now, I have actually got a finished object. I'm very excited. Well, I say it's finished, it's off the needles. I have been knitting for quite some time the boxy V-neck by Joji Locatelli. And I had some issues starting it off. It's top-down construction, all in one piece. There is a seamed version as well, but I had a mental block with the shoulder shaping. And I was using some yarn that I've had in my stash for a very long time. It is a thread weight yarn. I think it's probably discontinued now. It's called Jaipur from Katia, and it's a mercerized cotton, and I've got quite a lot of it in my stash in various colours, and my stash is housed in various locations around the house, and I couldn't find all of it. I knew I'd got at least 10 balls, so I knew I'd got enough to do this garment, but I was worried that I wasn't going to have enough. That being said, I've actually got 5 balls of this left, and I think it's taken 5 balls. It's 280 metres per ball. Anyway, it needs blocking and the ends need weaving in, but here is my V-neck boxy, so it needs a really good block. It's not perfect by any stretch of the imagination, but I'm hoping that when it is blocked, the tension will settle down a little bit. I'm not happy with where I've picked sleeves up here. I've not done this kind of thing before. You see there, that looks neat, but there where you've got this garter stitch and stocking stitch stripe, it's not good. But I am going to block, and I don't normally block, I know you should. And I've had a bit of a purchase this morning from Loop. I have put in an order for a proper blocking set with the pins and the boards, because I've spent some time on this, and I want it to look all right. Looks a bit like a dog's dinner at the moment, doesn't it? But I think when it's blocked it'll be fine. So that is the one thing that is off my needles. The other thing I want to show you, I have started knitting some socks. I knit my first pair of socks probably 15 years ago, about 15 years ago, and I did them on a coach trip to Germany. I used to sing in a ladies choir, 4-part choir, and we did a little tour of Germany, and I knit a pair of socks on the coach, which caused quite a bit of interest amongst the ladies. And I knit them for my eldest daughter. She was about 12 at the time, something like that. So yeah, maybe about 12 years ago. Anyway, I've had various successes with socks ever since. And I knit that pair of socks for Molly. It was out of a proper sock yarn, a Regia sock yarn, wool. And she loved them, and she wore them to death until there were holes in them and her feet had grown and everything. And it's become a thing that I have threatened to knit all of my children a pair of socks, and Christmas before last they did have a pair of hand knit socks in their stocking, but oh dear, I can knit and I'm quite a good knitter, but attention to detail is not my thing. So I think it was one pair of socks were too tight at the cuff, so they couldn't get them on. Another pair, the feet were different lengths. So yeah, that was a complete waste of time. But I've said to the 2 children that are still living at home, if I put a pair of socks in your stocking this Christmas, what colour would you like? And my youngest daughter said that she would like some pale pink socks. So I recently visited a couple of yarn shops in Bath, which I'll come on to in a little bit. And I saw some lovely yarn in this one shop, and I've knitted a pair of socks. They're just vanilla socks. And they're for my daughter, as I say, my youngest daughter, who is just about to go off to uni. And I've just done these vanilla socks. I've never done this thing with the kind of slip stitch heel. I've never done that before. But this is a lovely yarn from Wool in Bath. I had a recent trip to Bath, as I say, I'll come on to that in a minute. And I hadn't taken any knitting with me, and I thought, I want to do some knitting. So I bought this yarn and the sock pins and got her to wind this into a hank for me. Lovely lady, I don't know her name, but I'll talk about that in the next section of this Woollypod. Yeah, so I've done the one sock. I've measured Ella's feet, so they should be all right. I haven't done the toe particularly brilliantly, and then I'm this far on the second sock, and it is my stitch and bitch night tonight, so I shall make good progress on these. And I've said, because I want to do some different ones for Christmas, I want to try some patterned ankle socks, you know, a bit shorter. I'm going to give her these to go away to uni. She's going away to uni on the 10th of September. These I've got, I think it is 7. I've lost the ball band. It's by a company called Dye Bath, D-Y-E Bath. It's 10% cashmere and the rest is wool, merino, I guess, superwash, and a bit of polyamide, but those are lovely. And I've so enjoyed knitting them. The feel of this yarn is just absolutely gorgeous, absolutely gorgeous. So those will be getting finished. The next thing that I want to finish while it's still kind of summertime, because you don't want to be handling thick heavy yarns in the extreme heat that we've had here in the UK recently. Having said that, what are we today? The 16th of August, is it? 17th of August? 17th of August. It's positively glacial today compared to what it has been of late. But this time last year, I think it was, I started to knit a gnome. I did a mystery knit along with, is it Imagined Landscapes on Ravelry? And I didn't keep up. And I think I've shown this before. This is all I've done so far of Norwen the gnome. I have got a pastel version on the go as well. But I love the bright colours of this. And this is Hedgehog Fibres mini skeins. And I put her on hold because I'd put somewhere safe the little bits and pieces that I'd made for her. So in here, I have got her nose, which needs to be sewn on. I don't know, probably about there. I've got her plaits, which are these gorgeous little cables, and they need blocking. And I've got to do a little bit of tassel at the bottom to get the bit of hair, but I'd lost these, and I'm having a bit of a sort out in my craft room, and I found them. Yeah, so I'm really pleased. I've got mittens, her mittens on the go, so hopefully by the next time I come back to you, I will have finished the bright version of Norwen the gnome. Then I am going to finish the pastel version of Norwen the gnome, and I might give her away. Don't know, might give her away. Watch this space. But that is going to be something that I finish. As we get more into longer nights, colder weather, I shall be finishing my Audrey cardigan. Again, it is knit. I don't know whether this is top down. Yes, I think it was top down because I've got the stitches on waist yarn here to pick up the sleeves. This is Swan Island, is it? I've forgotten the name of the yarn, but I'm almost at a point where I've got to do some short row shaping for the bottom of this, and it's just stocking stitch, which is lovely, but on the sides and down the centre back there's a pearl stitch detail, so when it's blocked you get that, but this is the contrast colour I've got for the bottom of the garment, and the ends of the sleeves are a little glove. They're like a little fingerless glove, so they're quite long sleeves, and I thought that'd be really nice, so I should be picking that up and finishing that. So yeah, I'm excited to finish that. I'm excited to do the short row shaping. Having done it on my boxy, V-neck boxy, I understand more now what I'm doing. And I know that short row shaping is quite a kind of basic technique, but I haven't done a lot of it over the years. I have got a Rowan jumper I'll show in another Woollypod. I might even wear it when it's really cold, when we're not having the heating on. I've got a lovely Rowan jumper in felted tweed that's all different colours, and it's knit that way, but obviously with stripes and lots of shaping, but the way the garment's constructed, the stripes are vertical and there's lots of colours in it, and I really love it. And I might do another one actually in just maybe 2 colours, I don't know, because it's lovely, and it's a really snuggly jumper that you can wear instead of a coat when you go out. But as I say, with the cost of living and the cost of fuel going up, I might be having to wear that in the house because we won't be having the heating on as long or as high. Anyway, I've got some little purchases which I will show you, but I'm going to just stick in here. As I say, recently I went to Bath with some girlfriends. It was towards the end of July, and some of us are knitters, all of us are crafters of some kind or other, but we're all teachers that used to work together at a particular school, and there were 10 of us went away on this particular mini break this year. And I went to Wool, and it was a particularly hot day actually when I went in there, and it's a lovely little shop. I didn't film any footage of that. When I go to Bath next year, perhaps I will. Lovely lady, very helpful, and she'd got a delightful dog, little dog called Clover, who was sitting in the window, and I didn't notice her at first, but she was a lovely little dog. And I bought the sock yarn that I've just shown you from there, and then I also bought this. This is also by Dye Bath. What I like about her shop is that she's got your bog standard like Regia, Rowan, bit of Sirdar. She's got yarn at all price points, and she has got unique hand-dyed, independent spinners and dyers as well. So that's good. So I can't remember what this was, how much this cost, but it was the name of the colour that got me. So I'm doing the pale pink ones for Ella for uni, but I'm going to do my eldest daughter's Christmas socks with this. I'm going to find a nice pattern, and this colourway is called No, That's My Unicorn. And when Molly was a little girl, she was mad about unicorns, and in fact the word unicorn appears in her Instagram name, and she used to have a sign on her bedroom door saying, I believe in unicorns, or unicorns are real, or something. So I had to get that for her, so that's what I bought from there. And then I went to a yarn story, which is a beautiful shop, and in fact the bright yarn that I'm knitting Norwen in, I bought from there 3, maybe 4 years ago. Anyway, here's a little bit of footage of a yarn story in apologies that there was a little bit of shaky camera work in a couple of points there. There are a couple of people in the shop and I didn't want to get them in. I asked the owner if I could film and she said, yeah, that's fine. And she was a lovely lady called Alex. So Alex, I'm giving you a shout out. I love your store, and I shall definitely be coming back next year. I should be saving my pennies to make some nice purchases. I did purchase one skein of yarn from there, and it is this magpie yarn. It's a new brand that's new to me, and this is called Swanky Sock. It's 80% merino, 10% cashmere and 10% nylon, 400 yards to 115 grams, excuse me. And just looking to see if it suggests a needle size, because this looks a little bit bigger than, a little bit thicker. What does it say, Swanky Sock? No, it doesn't recommend a needle size, but I thought initially I would knit my son some socks out of this, his Christmas socks, but I don't think he'd cope with hand washing socks with cashmere, so I need to get something that's a bit more robust for him, I think, and is machine washable. But also I asked him what colours he wants, and he said he wanted a neon yellow and some blue. So yeah, that doesn't fit with that, does it? But I'm thinking this would be really nice actually for my hand knitted little bears, because there's lots of different colours in here. You'll get some really interesting little sections, but lots of little flecks on that. So that was my purchase from A Yarn Story. And if you're ever in Bath, I believe she's online as well, but if you're ever in Bath, go and check her out. Haven't talked about Northeasterly Blanket today. That is still ongoing. I confess I haven't picked it up for quite some time. It's just been too hot, and it is a really big, heavy piece of knitting now. So yeah, that's going to be one for the winter, knitting it with it covering my knees when I'm watching telly in the winter. Other purchases that I've made recently, I can't show you, but I was successful in getting in on Sherry Iris's yarn advent. I think I reserved it in April, paid a deposit, and I've just paid the full amount. So I've gone for the 24 minis on sock yarn, just as a standard finish, because I think she did a sparkly one as well with a so I think the 20 gram minis, you get one a day. I've got the Christmas Day 100 gram sock skein and the handmade project bag, which is what I went for last year. And last year it was beautiful. Every day there was a little excerpt of a story about the creatures that live in Foxglove Wood, is it? Tales of Foxglove Wood. This year we're going to Paris and Provence, so I'm really excited about that. And I've decided, although I'm working 3 days a week, 3.5 days a week now in term time, which I wasn't last year, I am going to do Vlogmas, and that will be part of my Vlogmas. So check out that from the 1st of December. Other purchases I bought a while ago, and I don't think this is on the shelves anymore. This is July's copy of The Knitter, and there's a couple of things in here that I really like the look of. I mean, I was drawn to the lace work on the cover, which is beautiful, and then I was drawn to this sweater as well. So let's just have a look and see. This shawl is by Annika and Alice. I mean, who doesn't love her patterns, her lace patterns? This elegant Faroese style shawl is knitted in a specially silky lace weight yarn, and the yarn that it suggests is the Fibre Company Meadow, which is a heavy lace weight, and it's knit on 4mm needles, and you need 200 gram skeins, so you need about 1,000 meters. I'm going to have a look in my stash and see if I've got something, because I do fancy knitting a shawl. The little free insert is this pattern using different Rowan yarns. I do quite like that. It's quite quirky, but I don't know whether I would knit it, and actually the yarn is very expensive. But on my to-do list now is this gorgeous sweater called Rose Bay. Look at that, I love it. It's got like a ribbed detail on top of the sleeves. The back is longer than the front, and I just love that colour. Now I've done a search for the yarn in this. It suggests that you use, it's a DK weight, which is unusual for me. I usually do 4-ply lace weight, even my garments. I very rarely knit anything DK or heavier. But this is Juniper Moon Farm, Patagonia. And I have done a search. You can, Juniper Moon Farm is an American company, I think. And there are a couple of stockists in the UK, but they don't all stock the Patagonia weight. And I can't get that lovely mulberry colour. But it's 100% wool DK weight. So I think I'm just going to bide my time. I've sent an inquiry to a UK stockist to let me know when it's back in stock. Let's see if there's another picture. There's one there. I love the slouchy oversized aspect of it, and I've just bought some stone coloured chinos, and I think that mulberry colour with stone would look really nice. So that is on my to-do list, and I think I've shown this before when I did in the last Woollypod. I did a little bit of a what's in my pattern archive. I've got a folder of patterns that I've cut out of magazines, and this is from an old issue of the Knitter, issue 72, whereas this is 178 that I've got here, so you can tell that this is quite a long time ago. Is this an Annick and Alice pattern as well? Let me just see who's designed it. I'll get it out of its wallet so I'm not glaring you. It's Blacker Yarns. Oh, it's Sean Brown. Yeah, and I love this. I'm definitely going to do that, and I'm going to do it in either a very soft grey, because I've got an old, it's not hand knit, an old grey cardigan from Next that I bought many years ago that needs to be gone. It's bobbled and yeah, but I love the colour of it. It's very versatile. So I'm going to knit this in a soft grey, and I'm going to use the yarn that's specified, so I need to get saving my pennies. But that's the front, so it's got this gorgeous kind of honeycomb pattern, and then the back is plain. But I love the kind of shaping of it, the short back and then the kind of waterfall drape. Love it. So that is also on my to-do list. Well, I hope Barry has behaved himself and looked after you. I'm going to leave it there today, and I will come back in about a month with another Woollypod. Let's see if I have managed to finish Norman by then. I will have finished the socks, but I probably won't be showing you those because they'll be going off to Leeds with my daughter. But I might have some more purchases to show you. And thank you very much if you decided to click on this video and watch. And if you're still with me, thank you very much. I'll be back soon. Bye now.